Okay, we're live.
Yep. Come on, Rich. Hello, 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 family. Rich, as we are live today, this is Terry Riggs as my co-host. I can't hear from him,
yes,
but you know,
yeah, I'm right.
Okay. But you know, it's a funny day today. We've got a special guest. So yeah, go on, Rich. Quickly.
Now we're on live, people. You know what this is. Another show, more information, more gems. Today is the manifestation of thought into reality. Yeah, we're going in.
Woo-wee!
That's what I'm trying to say. We've got a student of Bill Valentine in the house. Intriguing. Yeah, trust me.
And don't forget, we've got what is it called again? The Mackenzies. Oh my gosh, he's up there. You know, this is a great privilege to have one of our UK-owned special guys. But we are receiving a bit of an echo here.
What's the echo?
I'm not sure. On in the back? Have you got something else on, our visitor?
No, everything else is off.
Okay. So yes, so sorry people, as I love you family out there, and I know you're going to enjoy the show today. We've got a guy called Mr. Samuel with the double L at the end. How are you, Mr. Samuel? How are you today?
I'm great. I am fantastic.
The people are wondering. They want to know more about you. What are you about? Come on, give us a time of what your journey's been from the root to the rooter.
Oh, what am I about? Wow. Where do I start? All I can say, I'm still discovering what I'm about. There's too much to say because I'm an unlimited being. But what I have discovered so far is connected to every person that exists. Mind has definitely been expanding over the years, consciously expanding with new knowledge, new information has increased, and light to come into my consciousness. I was actually going to talk more about this in my slides.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to talk more about that in the slides and then get into it.
Let's go through your proceedings of your acting. You know, like the acting and the program that you presented and wrote a whole heap of things about the Mackenzies.
Okay. Well, know me. I started off acting, done quite a lot of stuff here in the UK. The Bill, Hotel Babylon, the Cut, EastEnders E20, the spin-off, who played also the Black Power Rangers Operation Overdrive 2007. And more importantly, at the moment, I have my own show called All About the Mackenzies, a black family comedy, which is about 3 generations living under the same roof. On the main character, Samuel Mackenzie, who's an ambitious person with dreams of a successful acting career, a father to a 2-year-old daughter, having to deal with responsibilities of a relationship gone sour and becoming a man. And this is a show that contains light comedy with a lot of heart, family dynamics, and universal self-awakening concepts. So that is something I'm working on at the moment. Been doing it for the last 7 years. And I would say that this whole journey has really been developing what the show is going to become. So that's what I've been working on mainly. All the other little bits I'll mention when I show my slides.
Okay. So, you know, like, what has kind of inspired you as a black person into what you're doing today? Because, you know, a lot of people say that they're struggling, and some people say that, you know, like being an actor has been hard work. How have you mentally done it?
Mentally done it. Well, it's a bit of a crazy one to explain, because I mean, acting is it's different for a lot of people. It's not a 9-to-5 job. It's not. It's when a job happens, then a job ends. Job happens, a job ends, and they might not necessarily be consistent. But with some people, it is. With my, it hasn't been 100% consistent. There have been like lots of waiting periods, but I don't really think it's about the acting. I think that's only one dimension of what I'm capable of doing. I started noticing the multi-dimensionality and multifaceted side of me doing my own show.
Okay. So, Richie.
Talk to me, brother.
Yeah, as he's gone through some of this stuff, is there any questions you would like to ask? You know, before we start to go in a bit more deeper for the general public and the family.
Well, with the acting career, how long you been acting for, brother?
I would say properly from when I was 19. I'm 31 right now.
And what area do you hail from, brother?
London. I'm from Wembley at the moment. It's Wembley. That's where I've spent most of my life, in Wembley.
Okay, that's where you was born and bred, yeah?
No, not born and bred in Wembley, but I have been in London.
So when you say born and bred, where were you born and bred?
Well, born and bred in London, but I was born in Southwark.
Okay, that's where the slight accent comes from.
Okay.
So, but you know what it is. It's like we want to show people and show our own black people the growth of where we're coming from, and have a better understanding. Because, you know, as we know, that there is a system out there that suppresses us from doing many things. So we have much harder obstacles. So we have to go into that our mind paradigm to able to move around, to adjust, to make sure that things that are around us don't take us off that path.
Yeah.
You know, so it is for the general public to get a much more grinding understanding of where you're coming from. And, you know, and then we can go through certain things to show them. Because, as I said to you, you've turned into somewhat a phenomenal motivational speaker for quite a lot of people, and it will be an inspiration, like as you were explaining earlier on about going into the prisons and talking your story. So how did that come about?
Well, first of all, that hasn't happened yet. That's happening next Thursday. And that literally came from someone who works in a prison who noticed me doing one of my Facebook lives talking about the mind. And it's also this actual thing right now, you, Terry, seeing one of my Facebook lives.
Exactly. And this is where, as I was trying to break down, because we want to give the people an introduction, because we're going to go into certain PowerPoints, which is going to go over the weeks. So this is going to be a phenomenal taster for people that are trying to focus or put their mindset or understand the paradigms that we're in this form of matrix. So, as I was saying to you, how you perceive it and how you've gone through that matrix, I want us to go through this in your perspective.
Okay. Just giving you a little bit of a warning. Sometimes when you're talking, it cuts in and out, and I don't actually hear what you said.
Okay. So just repeat.
Just ask us to repeat the question. Anytime you don't hear it, we'll repeat that for you.
Okay.
Brother.
Can you repeat a question that you have just asked me?
What Terry was just basically saying is that we want to examine your journey and how you manifested your thoughts into the reality that you now are in. Because obviously that's the most powerful story you can tell. You know, it's always good to hear a motivational speaker who can pick the right words and motivate the crowd. But again, their personal story usually is the kicker to make people kind of say, okay, let me hear what this guy has to say more. So again, we've listed lightly some of the accolades of what you've done in the acting thing. But again, when it comes to manifesting those thoughts from the time that you decided you wanted to be an actor seriously, what were the kinds of steps or mantras that you maybe adopted to help you get through the auditions or the rejections, even, because obviously it can't all have been a success story?
Yeah. Well, firstly, I would say during the days of the acting stuff, I was unconscious, so I didn't even know what the word manifestation meant. When I was getting on to doing my own show and really getting into personal development, this was where I was starting to understand one of the laws of nature, which is law of attraction, and how that works alongside vibration. That was helping me understand more why certain things were happening, understanding synchronicities that was taking place, but also as well, it's a journey. It's not just a journey of seeing something manifest. It's more, it's a journey of understanding what was going on within me in terms of my growth through the lessons that were coming my way, harsh lessons, I might add. And these are harsh lessons that come where things come to test you, like certain things might not work out how you expected them to work out. Situations might happen in your life where bad things could happen, and then you start asking another question in regards to what's happening in your life. This is not a thing of, oh, let's manifest my show. No, this isn't just about something career orientated. This is about an involution of a person, an involution of myself, and I'm still on that journey, and that journey will never end. So I don't really want to talk about this in regards to the show for 100% of the time, because this really is just down to the principle which each of us have to be obedient to, because we cannot escape a process of manifestation. Manifestation is happening every single second, minute, hour of the day, whether we all like it or not. It's just like where the sun can shine on you. It doesn't care if you're a murderer. It does not care if you're poor. It doesn't care if you're rich. The sun will always shine on you unconditionally, because it is a law unto itself. It knows its purpose. It knows why it is shining. It knows it knows its purpose of life, to give life. And with all of us, our responsibility in terms of the law of giving and receiving is to give life onto another. We cannot just take and not give, because we are not fulfilling the law. So me sharing a little taster of this information today, it's me giving something onto others. And like I say in my Facebook lives, there is no accidents in the universe. The people that are meant to hear this broadcast are the right people to hear it at the right time, at the right place. There are no accidents. My responsibility is to broadcast the signals that the unconscious, omnipresent, universal mind is prompting me to share with you all today.
That's all. That's all. So tell me something, brother. What was you said obviously through certain of your parts of your life you was unconscious. What was your epiphany moment? What was the moment where you really started to self-reflect?
Okay, that moment I remember. I was 21 years old, and I just came back no, I never. I was 21 years old, and I remember it was a time I was getting really, really depressed because I wasn't getting any work. Nothing was really happening for me. I remember, I remember that I had signed up to join the army, and I remember I even got my enlistment date and everything. And I just thought to myself, I literally broke down. I remember going under my bed sheets with a notepad and a red pen, and I was literally writing down my thoughts as to why is my life like this? Why can't I be happy? Is there some sort of secret that I don't know about? There's got to be more to life than this. I know I deserve more. How comes I see certain people happy and I'm not? And I literally wrote down these of paper, and I had never ever done this act before in my life. And that's when weird things started happening in my life. The first manifestation from that moment was when a friend contacted me and was speaking to me about a book called The Secret. And this was 10 years ago. And then when I read that book, that I would say was the start of my whole spiritual consciousness journey up to today.
Terry?
Yeah. So in that way, right? That you got into that journey, because there's a lot of people out here, right, that they find certain paradigms very difficult to tap into because of what the contents of them, what they've received in their subconsciousness. And for you to able to dismiss the old content, able to bring the new content, how would you say you dealt with it personally?
Okay, firstly, we are always going to be dealing with that. I'm still dealing with that. It's just to the degree of the amount I put in terms of the knowledge on a consistent basis, that's going to equal a certain level of control. Now, by studying this information, it's been a lot more easier because I'm able to actually understand what is really happening. See, a lot of us, we can take in this information consciously, but it hasn't hit the fertile soil of the subconscious mind where all seeds rest. This is where all our ideas rest. And the constantly study to the extent where my focus is I literally do not entertain anything that doesn't move me forward. I don't entertain it. But if you look at the average individual today, there are so many distractions, things your friends say to you, your parents say to you, you're on social media, you're looking at everyone's posts. There's no goal in a person's life. They don't even know what their purpose is. And until you know what your purpose is and you have a certain goal set for yourself in your life, you're going to be subject to all the madness of this matrix. You're going to be subject to every little thing coming your way. And because you're not taught anything about the mind, absolutely nothing, because they don't teach you it in the educational system, they don't teach you none of this information, and because you don't know none of this information, you have no point of reference in your high point of perception to even cross-reference something with your own neurology. And because you do not have that seed of information, it's like you're wide open to everything. You're just taking everything through the five senses. There's no focus, there's no filtering. So how I've managed to stay on a certain level is I just literally focus my attention on what I'm doing. It's like I know what my goal is. I know, okay, most of my time is going to be focused on what that goal is, and that's what I'm focusing on. Or if it's anything to do with my study, I will focus on that. I do not entertain anything that has not got anything to do with where I'm going, because it's a waste of my energy.
Okay. Yeah. So Oh, so basically, like now, you see, like you through your shows, you know, like okay, now, like when people say, you know, they're finding problems or they're finding certain things difficult while you was doing your writing, when you had that mental block, how did you resolve that? Because a lot of people get writer's block.
Yeah, I understand with writer's block, it's understandable. I mean, I even had writer's block today when I was writing one of my scripts. What I've noticed is sometimes I'm in a flow, right? And everything just comes to me. And sometimes I could be doing something completely different and spontaneously an idea will come to my head and it'll be like, ah, okay, that makes sense. I'm going to go with this. So it's not about cramming all this information in, because we're creating a lot of resistance, which means we're actually pushing away creative flow. Whereas it just comes to me in completely random times. It's like, for example, Terry, the Facebook Live that you saw me do the other day, it wasn't planned. All I had was an idea of what the subject was going to be about. All those drawings that I did, it all came to my mind there and then as I was in the flow.
Okay.
It wasn't planned.
So in the format, because like I have a motto called like moves, meaning I try to create forms of legacy. At the same time, I use it to make me push myself. So I say, what, today I'm doing it regardless. Do you get that? Do you have your own way of dealing things like that?
Yeah, I mean, I do have that sometimes. I literally use one of my higher mental faculties, which we all have, which is called the will. And you literally say, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that. And you make that decision and you literally stick with it. And you just set yourself to just do it. And it's the power of your will, the force of you using that willpower. You actually just get the thing done.
Yeah, so in that format of understanding of dealing with fear, because that's the main thing that people have.
Yeah.
Fear of the stage fright and things like that. Go on.
Yeah. Fear really is nothing that is real. It all is everything of the past and making assumptions. Fear really is down to ignorance. And the only way we are going to solve that is the universal polar opposite of that, which is knowledge. When we study, we understand, which means fear starts to be less and less and less, because we have more understanding of who we are and what we are about. And once again, it all comes down to having a lack of purpose as well. Otherwise, you're always going to be in fear if you have a lack of purpose. I mean, even to now, like there are still certain fears that I may have in my mind, but at least I'm aware of what it is. I know it's not real, and I know, okay, that's not real, which means it doesn't exist. It's something that stems from a memory of the past. And would I rather listen to that story or listen to the truth of, I can do this? I'd rather listen to that, not the old stuff. It's the old stuff that paralyzes people, and they're not even able to take a first step because they're paralyzed.
Okay. So, Richie, have you got anything to say?
Listen, I'm definitely hearing where the brother's coming from in understanding your purpose and that grounding you in a way where you're not pulled from pillar to post. So I definitely agree with that one.
Yeah. One thing I will say to piggyback off of what you just said there is, go outside and go and look at the tree. It shall not be moved. It shall not be moved. Why? It knows its purpose. It is fully rooted. It will not be moved despite the weather. Yes, it understands it will drop its leaves in a certain season. It knows its responsibility. We gain our oxygen from the trees. It knows its purpose. Let me give life onto others. And it grows the leaves. It grows the leaves. But the more important thing is it's grounded, which means the tree is not ignorant. It is rooted. It is not swayed by social media. It is not swayed by oncoming traffic. And it is not swayed because someone says, oh, I don't like what you're doing. Why are you standing there? It stands there. And guess what? The tree, it doesn't cuss you back. It stands there and it lives its purpose because it's grounded. And I believe we all need to get to a stage where we are that grounded in what we are doing, that we are not swayed by anybody. And I talk about trees in this actual course that I'm going to be talking about, not today, but it's also in that as well. Because I like to use pictures to break things down to people, because I understand that there's a lot of this information that is so high concept that people can't understand, that it's got to be broken down into pictures. Why pictures? Because we learn through pictures. Our subconscious mind understands pictures. It doesn't read or numbers. You don't think words or numbers. You think in pictures. If I say to you, don't think of the McDonald's logo, you didn't think McDonald's, you saw a logo, you saw a symbol.
Yeah. So in like a lot of things that I explain to a lot of people about nature and observing our environment, how nature moves, and comparing it to yourself and the ideology of it. How do you perceive nature for yourself?
Nature's effortless. It blows, it rains, it sun shines, and I believe that nature is here to teach us a lesson of how we should be. If you look at how we live, we live so out of touch with nature. We're the only species on Earth that has to pay for our shelter and pay for our food, which is totally unnatural, but that is a result of the beast that we live in called this matrix. We just have to observe. It's like the other day, I was driving and I looked out my window and a squirrel was there eating of some sort. And it was literally there just eating and staring at me. And I just sat there and it was there for a while eating this nut for a very long time. And I thought to myself, there is a reason that this entity is just sitting on a fence eating this nut and staring at me. It was not moved, it was not scared by my presence. It just literally sat there eating this nut. And I had to ask myself the question at this moment, what are you here to teach me, squirrel? What are you here to teach me? Because we have to ask questions. And I just saw the simplicity of it, and it just made me really think that we complicate life so much because we've been taught that we've got to be a left brain prisoner of this whole thing, a left brain prisoner. And we overthink things, and overthinking, it kills things. And just by looking at the simplicity of nature, we need to get back to nature. We need to get back to nature.
Okay.
Listen, I tell you what, yeah, we got people in the chat. Yeah, we got a guy in the chat. Yeah, or a girl, I don't even know.
He's the usual suspect.
That's what I'm saying. They seem confused when we talk on this nature aspect. And again, let me just explain this one quickly. Yeah, when we talk about nature, as Black people, one of the things that we always did culturally is take aspects of nature, yeah, and use them to better live and understand our position within this realm of nature. Yeah, so again, we got this guy in the chat room. He's got a lot of opinions. He doesn't seem to be understanding that principle. So I just wanted to slide that in there, just so, again, it puts some context to what we're saying. Because, again, this isn't about becoming a tree or becoming a bird. This is about looking at aspects of nature that you can take and use, yeah, to
you know what it is,
life and use the principles around you. Yeah,
use your brain,
people. Use your brain.
is some people's teaching of reading things literally. And when they take things in literally, they don't get the full understanding of what the message is about. That's all it is. So yeah. So basically, on that perspective, there was you said you had some little bits and pieces to show. But before we go there, I like to do forms of motions and advertising for a lot of companies and products that we deal with.
Okay.
And if I'm right, we have what we have right now. Let me come off. Is to able to show you that this is a 10-line scroll, which it goes from beginning to end of Black history. This will be on sale on the Black Eyes TV channel, which is the Black Eyes TV stores that will be launching in under a month or two. Now we will be having other stuff, like we have the seven types of queens and kings desire. This is by a guy called King Kevin. We did a 7-day tour on his book, so we now got his product in-house, and so you need to contact us. We have this on sale, which is just a measly old £15, a good book to find out for people to understand the information about their kings and queens. Then we've got another book from TC Carrier, which is Me and Pooh for the children. Now it's about his son and the dog, which the dog is his consciousness. So when he goes into certain problems, the dog gives him the advice. Very good book for the children. It's something to buy, and it's only £10. Then we've got Anthony Browder. Anthony Browder's got quite a few books, as you can see. He talks about the obelisk, he talks about the Egyptian history, and it goes on in different aspects. He's got loads of books. He's even got the books of Avatar, and his archaeological digs deal with the ancestors, and knowing that he is doing his own personal digs in Egypt, Kemet.
It's going to go on longer.
And this is one of the books. So understanding that, now we always say to you, buy black, keep buying, keep surviving these black stores to keep on going. Go to 10 Adelaide Road, Shepherd's Bush, the Ankwell Bean. Go to Station Road, the Netta Vitel, or go to Brixton Hill, and that is the Pampanzi store. So if you need any products, any books, any clothes, any jewelry, all these stores have it, even up to the Shungai stone, which helps you from radiation. So if you go to any of these stores, you are supporting your people. So what I'm trying to say to you is, even if you have 1 day a week, buy something off a black person so that we are able to grow. So now finish that. Now we will come back to our visitor, who will be a resident one day. Yes, Mr. Samuel.
Yes.
So, now we said that we had some forms of PowerPoints, but Richie.
Wait. I need to hear about this Phil Valentine piece. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, okay.
What's the story with that? How did you come to Connor? What did you do? Did you study? Did you meet him? What? Come on, like this is the stuff I don't even know this. So
okay,
tell the people then, please.
Okay, Dr. Phil Valentine. Wow. Firstly, I discovered Dr. Phil Valentine on YouTube quite a long time ago, and I was literally just blown away by the knowledge that this guy had, and I was literally just so into everything he was saying, to the extent of downloading his videos as MP3s and having them on my phone and listening to them. And I remember one time I discovered his website, and I understood that he was going to be doing a metaphysical psychology course, and this was about 2012. This was 2000, end of 2012, and yeah, I did a metaphysical psychology course #1 with him, and I also did a metaphysical psychology course #2 with him. Also, as well, if you guys are aware of Dr. Jewel Pukram,
Yeah.
I have actually gone on 2 retreats with Dr. Jewel Pukram to Jamaica in Montego Bay twice, and that was mind blowing as well. But that's a story for another day.
Yeah, don't worry. We're having you back on another show, so you will be revealing these stories. Don't worry. We'll be on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ain't getting nowhere. You ain't getting nowhere. The public need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Richie.
Was there anything in particular on the Phil Valentine part that stood out to you? Because I've watched enough Phil Valentine videos myself. I love him. Yeah, he kicks some real jewels. But was there anything in particular that stood out to you? Like one of the lectures that stood out to me was one where he was talking on the death of the somatic body.
The 10-hour lecture.
Yeah. That
Somatic death.
That's what I'm saying. That was a lovely one. I did remember that. That sticks in my mind. Like, so was there any particular ones that are favorites of yours or stuck in your mind in some way?
I think my favorite one is Matrix and mind control. That was really that really stuck out to me more. I just love the way Dr. Valentine breaks things down, and I think in a way I've kind of learned off of him how to break my stuff down in a very simplistic form, to help people understand. I like to break it down at a level where no one may have heard this information before. Like I said, today's only a taster. It's going to be quite short. We're not going deep today. I'm not able to go that deep today. We'll have to leave that for the next time. But I can definitely break things down in a very simplistic form.
Cool, brother. All right.
Yeah. As I said, like, for me on that aspect, before we quickly go in, is the show, and you haven't really spoken about the in depth of that show that you do.
What, all about the Mackenzies?
All about the Mackenzies. No one is actually. Some people don't even know about it. Some people know about it.
It's understandable if some people don't know about it, because it started off as a web series. It is on YouTube. In fact, I was going to talk more about it in my slides that I've got. That's why I keep talking about the slides. But it is a show you can go and see on YouTube, and the purpose of the show, I created the show. It's not where I intend it to be at the moment, because it's about to become that next stage, where I see it as a global phenomenon to heal families. And guess what? It's a black family. So yeah, I'll talk more about that when I get into the slides.
All right, well, look, let's do this then, yeah, because you're talking a lot about these slides and other things you want to talk about. So let's start to cover some of the aspects in which you will be talking on, and which people can hear you talking on other platforms about. What are the key fundamentals that you like to touch on when it comes to the manifestation of thought into reality?
I like to okay, I like to first of all explain the mind, you know, what it is, the different parts of the mind, conscious, subconscious, the 5 senses, and how we receive information through our consciousness. combining that with universal laws. I also like to cover, especially today, it's more about the importance of asking questions, because a lot of us do not ask any questions, which means we remain stuck where we are. Comfort zone and being able to break out of comfort zones. The importance of where our source of information comes from, and more importantly, where we are putting most of our energy, most of our time, because that is determining a lot of our results. A lot of us are running on autopilot, running on habits, which I won't be covering today. It's really not a lot, but I wanted to get more in depth in the next session. My understanding was this was literally just an intro and a taster, not really going so in depth.
No, don't worry.
In the first.
That's why I just want to cover your fundamental subcategories. Like when you're now talking about the mind and the manifestation of knowing oneself a bit deeper, there must be some key aspects, you know, that we talk about, whether it's, you know, visualizing your goal, as you've already touched on.
Yeah, that's one of the higher mental faculties of the mind, which is the imagination. And it's all about purpose. I feel we've got there's so many people out there, even conscious people, but they still don't know what their purpose is. And that is such a key, it's a key foundation to know what the purpose is before we set out on this journey and utilizing the talents that we've been given to live out that purpose. And I like to cover that because I'm a living example for it, from where I've come from and what I've been through.
All right. So tell me something then. Let's do this. What does your normal routine consist of when it comes to you coming up with a new goal within your life? You want to achieve something, you know, you're not sure whether or not you have the skill set to achieve it. What kinds of things do you go through to boost your confidence, to get you in the mind state to tackle this new task ahead of you?
Well, first of all, it's knowing that I can do what I want. Because if I can conceive a picture in my mind, that means it's already a reality. It already exists in the field of unlimited potential. So my responsibility now is to get in tune with that and take the necessary steps to go in that direction. Knowledge, it's what keeps me grounded. It's because I have the knowledge that I don't need to know how it's going to happen. Now, that might sound like a very foreign concept to a lot of people, but once you go through this course that I will be going through with you guys over a period of different sessions, it's going to be very clear to you and very empowering that you don't need to know how things is going to happen. You just have to be committed that that's what you're going to be doing, and making sure there are steps you're taking towards that direction, because the path is revealed to you for you to take. And we have to use a higher mental faculty, which is called intuition. That's one of our higher mental faculties, for us to be aware that we're in the right place at the right time for the right reason, so that our senses are attuned to stuff that is relevant to our goal. It's vibrating at the same frequency of thought that we're thinking of. So that's what keeps me going. It's just knowing I can do it, and the evidence that I've done it already. But obviously it did not start like that, because it does take a lot of study.
No, I'm feeling you. Okay. Terry, you got anything you want to add?
Not at this precise moment. I'm just trying to type some things out. All right. I'll come back to you in 2 minutes.
Again, just tell the people then what platforms you're on and where they can find you.
That's also in my slides. Pictures say 1,000 words.
You're on Facebook, right? Doing live shows, yeah?
Yep. Yes, I am. It's Samuel Benta,
Are
but
those scheduled?
sorry.
Are those intermittent or are those scheduled?
Every Tuesday and Thursday evening, 7 p.m. UK time.
Okay.
And people will be able to find out what that is when I go to the slides.
All right.
Okay. So you know, like the things that you was doing the other day, the information that you was releasing on the Facebook about the tap.
Yeah, the tap, the faucet, yeah.
Of course, I just want you to give a little demonstration on the desire, the skill, and the I can't remember it now.
Terry,
Repetition.
Terry was skipping classes here. That's naughty. They were skipping classes. We need to. I like to take people from this level, and then we get to those levels, because then they've got the certain neurons to be able to connect the information to understand that.
Okay. But you know, because one thing that we like to do is that we like to give people some food for thought.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I can say something very briefly. I might need to come out of this room, but I'll just quickly say, okay, I want everyone who's watching this, I want you to imagine you are holding a glass of wine, red wine. Imagine you are holding a glass of red wine. And I want you to have that wine glass that represents your head. And the red wine represents what you currently know. Okay? Now, I want you to take this glass of red wine, and I want you to go to a tap, or for the Americans watching this, your faucet in your kitchen. And I want you to place the glass of red wine underneath the tap. Ask yourself this question. What happens to the red wine in the glass once you start running the tap, pouring water on the red wine? Already, when you are listening to me, you are picturing what I have just told you to do. You are picturing water going in the red wine, and you are seeing the red wine slowly coming out of the glass. You can see this, can't you? And if you keep that tap running, eventually you're going to get clear water in that glass. What does that mean? It means the red wine has left the glass and you can see clearly. What does the water represent? The water represents different content. The tap represents the source of where the information is coming from. Change the source of information, automatically changes the content, and as it goes through your mind, you change the old stuff. You remove the nonsense and you put something new in. You cannot change something without removing what is in there first. What's the source of information? Your TV, the music you listen to, the food you eat. Change the source, changes the content, changes the nature of what goes into the glass, into your mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, Richie.
Yeah. I'm just reading the chat room and just enjoying some of these non-visual people.
As I said, don't put no wood into the fire, because when you put wood into the fire, it burns.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I know. I love them too.
Let's not focus our energy on that. I'm just here to deliver a message, and boom, there it is.
There it is.
Yeah. But I want to quickly go through something, Richie. Was about the ladies that came in the other day, a few days ago, and their event.
Kings and Queens United.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. All right. Talk about it. Where's the event? Isn't it on the 16th of December, I believe? You should have the flyer there. You got a flyer? WhatsApp? Have a look-see.
Yeah, but is there any way of you getting it up?
Hold up, 1 second, people. Yeah.
Yeah, as Richie's doing that, I just wanted to show you, like, there are a few for the kids, like as you have from the Boyce Watkins. The Boyce Watkins has got these flashcards for able to turn your children into entrepreneurials, which he will be doing a seminar at the Black History Studies. And he will be streamed live at the event. It'll be a nice event to go to. I'll put up the dates a bit later on, and see where we can go from there. But these flashcards are really good for your children. So it's something you can get online or you can get from us. Now today, as we were wondering, and we're talking about the mindset. Yeah, Mr. Rich, have you found anything yet?
Yeah, I got the event now. Yeah, right. So, Kings and Queens United on the 16th of December, till late. This will be an event that is on. It's going to be guest speakers, success stories, performances, comedians. There's going to be a 3-course meal and a dance. And this is going to be launching of an online dating site, singles events to come, couples events to come, and relationship workshops that will be highlighted at this event. So that is the 16th of December, and that's going to be at the Rock Island Bar and Grill, 320 Old Kent Road, London, SE1 5UE. Between now and then, we will have the graphics up and we'll be showing these flyers once we get the highlight reel of ads going. So look out for that one. Kings and Queens United, Old Kent Road. It's all going down for those couples.
Okay. Rich, I want you to just quickly go through the website, what's happening, get them to know what's happening on the website.
Ooh, the website. Okay, so the website is www.kingsandqueensunited.com. The email is info@kingsandqueensunited.com. And if there's any information needed, the number you're going to be calling, sorry people, is 07494 882 829. Yeah, so let me just give you
a quick repeat again.
07494 882 829. Yeah, so any information you need, go to the website, check that out. There will be other events going on and workshops, as I said, around that. That's Kings and Queens United.
And then what about the Black Eyes Tea and Black Eyes stores? What's happening? Would the public like to know more about the store?
Coming soon. Listen, couple weeks at best. We've had some technical difficulties with imagery, but it is coming. It's gonna have all your different products, all your books.
Give us a little preview of who's gonna be on the website.
Listen. You're gonna have to wait and see. It's gonna be tidy. Yeah, Red Pill, Blue Pill, Inky, KT, Queen of Fuas. They're all on there. Armin Ra Squad. They're all coming in. Shaka Most. Look out for them. Our English people, Manhood Academy books. They're all going to be there. But again, technicals is trying to work against us. But we will make it happen. We will be going live in the next week or two. Hopefully, no long things. So look out for that, people. Look out for that. To everybody that's watched this evening, big up as well. I want to say big up to my fellow black media as well. Titans TV. Big up to Sarnetta TV. Big up to the Gang Corner Speakers Circle. Content over everything. HMP TV. Big up to that for footage this week from the protest down in Fulham at the school. Yeah, big up to HMP covering that. Go to his channel for more updates on that. And you can see interviews with the family and all sorts. So yeah, support that and support Black media. Have we covered all the bases right now? And again, let me just personally say to our guest tonight, Samuel Benton. Yeah, big up, big up, big up.
BENTA.
BENTA, sorry. BENTA, yeah. Thank you for coming on the platform and giving us a touch on what you're going to be covering. Yeah, just slightly today, but you will be going in more. We will be having you back where you can present information. And again, to anybody that has any thoughts on it, come along, watch it, take it in, then ask your questions. There's no point talking until you've seen it. So again, come along, support the channel, see the play. Terry, sign us out, brother.
Yeah, as I always say, buy black. Support our Americans, support our Caribbeans, support our African people, support the Black people. If you don't buy from us, we cannot grow. We need your economical system to work so that we can provide schools for our children, for us to able to leave legacies, come to all types of events that we are doing. Whatever you think that can highlight us as Black people to put us back on that map, please do so. So if you do something that credits us, please hashtag power moves, right? So keep it up, keep on living, as life is for living, and it's a new beginning. This is Black TV 7, the one and only media service for the people, by the people. This is out and over.
Peace, 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 peace.